war cry for the motherland that energized and inspired a freedom movement that ultimately freed Bharat of colonizers was Vande Mataram or Vande Mataram, our national song, composed by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay in 1875 to highlight its cultural, historical and national significance. Celebrating 150 years of Vande Mataram, Prime Minister Narendra Modi led the debate in the Lok Sabha earlier in the day, accusing the Congress of dropping the 4 stanzas to appease a particular community, mainly the Muslims, because of Jinnah and the seeds of differences that had been sown by the Ali brothers already within the Muslim League. Now, the Prime Minister went on to say that it was Jinnah who opposed Vande Mataram, the Muslim League that opposed Vande Mataram, the Ali brothers who first started voicing this in Bengal, and somewhere Jawaharlal Nehru agreed with these sentiments. Now, on this edition of The Right Stand, we will try and show to you those 4 stanzas that stand omitted and somewhere are no longer committed to memory of the common folk of people. Now, these 4 stanzas were not part of the original composition. They were added back in 1881 as Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay also wrote Anandmath, and the full song, the 6 stanzas, came as part of Anandmath. Now, let's try and get through stanza number 3, 4, 5 and 6. The war cry, stanza 3 is Saptakoti Kanakant Kantha Kalakal Ninad Karale. Now, the Saptakoti is 7 crores. Later on, it was modified to Koti. So, crores and crores. So, that number is not defined. Durbala Shil Falavan Danat Karale Vandanat Rale. Now, this is again means the translation Matru'Bhoomi Pitch Shiva Shubhra Jaya 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 Mataram Vande Mataram. The translation: with 70 million voices swelling in uproar, breaking the chains of weakness and slavery, O motherland, you are auspicious, divine. All victory to you, mother, I bow to you. So, Ma Taslimat, Ma Tujhe Salam. That's the sentiment where mother, I bow to you. Now, Twamhi Durga Dashapraharana Dharini Kamala Dala Viharini Vani Vidya Daini Namami Twam Namami Kamalam Amalam Atulam Sujalam Sufalam Mataram Vande Mataram. You are Durga, wielder of 10 weapons. You are Lakshmi, dwelling on lotus hearts. You are Saraswati, giver of wisdom and speech. To you I bow, to the flawless, matchless one I bow. Mother full of waters and fruits, I bow to you. The final 2 stanzas: Shamalam, Saralam, Sushmitam, Bhushitam, Dharani, Bharani, Mataram, Vande Mataram. Dark green, simple, beautiful, with gentle smiles, nourishing and sustaining. O Mother Earth, I bow to you. And then Matru'Bhoomi Pitch Shiva, Jaya 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 Mataram, Vande Mataram. O motherland, you are auspicious and divine. Victory, victory, victory be to you. O mother, I bow to you. Now, the larger question is, will the House unanimously pass a resolution to restore the national song to its full original form, all 6 stanzas? That would be the true tribute to Vande Mataram. idea is Ma Tujhe Salam. So that is, it's not even about bowing to you, O mother. I salute you, O mother, and I respect you, O mother, and treating the nation as your own mother. So in fact, there is enough and more to say that the progressive Muslims, even of at that time, they actually thanked Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay for Vande Mataram. We'll cut to that in a bit. In the meantime, DMK MP Andimuthu Raja has alleged while replying to the Prime Minister and said that the national song was idolatry in nature, had undertones of religious animosity and stood against the Muslims. Listen in.
It has given the intense contestation in terms of explicit idolatry and religious antagonism. Appeal was made by Aravind Ghosh with broader sense. I quote, "What we want is that Hindus and Muslims both should bring the Swaraj in unison and concert," unquote. Sir, this appeal was done by Aravind Ghosh, having come across there was a disturbances communally between Hindus and Muslims because of the Vande Mataram chanting. Prime Minister says, who did division? Prime Minister asked, who did division in the Vande Mataram? Division was done by your forefathers, not by Muslims.
But this is why A. Raja is wrong. A. Raja said, and this is how, historian R.C. Majumdar wrote, Bankim Chandra converted patriotism into religion and religion into patriotism. Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay didn't convert patriotism into religion or vice versa. He tactically weaponized religious emotion to ignite a fundamentally secure political nationalism. Now, Vande Mataram was opposed because of its idolatry and religious animosity. Prime Minister Modi's dream is to make Bharat a Hindu nation. Now here's the counter. Vande Mataram uses poetic and cultural symbolism, not religious animosity, and was embraced across communities during the freedom struggle. Linking respect for it to a Hindu nation is a political exaggeration and not a historical fact. A. Raja says the national song written by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay is part of his novel Anandmath was used against Muslims in the country at that time. Now this claim generalizes selectively. Vande Mataram was a unifying rally cry of the freedom movement sung by leaders across communities, including Muslims. Instances of later political misuse cannot rewrite its original purpose or the inclusive legacy it carried for decades. A. Raja says, PM says you did the appeasement to Muslims. On the contrary, record says that Muslims are aggrieved, and I can say appeasement was done in favor of Hindus. Now here's the counter. Historical records show that Vande Mataram itself was accepted by many Muslim leaders during the freedom struggle, and objections emerged only later in specific political contexts. Now, by championing the full song's 150th anniversary, Prime Minister advocates reclaiming its unadulterated essence as a mantra for civilizational revival, free from colonial or communal dilutions, ensuring Bharat's unity draws from its indigenous roots rather than borrowed accommodations. This isn't majoritarianism, but the truth-seeking reclamation, as the record affirms. Nehru's throne shook under League pressure, validating Prime Minister Narendra Modi's critique. Now, PM's statement represents a cultural decolonization and indigenous identity assertion, and after centuries of colonialism, embodying revival of ancient wisdom and warrior spirit. Rohan Gupta, national spokesperson of the BJP, Akash Deepmoni, political analyst with us, Professor Nachiketa Tiwari, IIT Kanpur, and he steered the launch of MA in Hindu Studies program in 25 plus universities across Bharat, and Abhijit Iyer Mitra, senior fellow, the IPCS, with us. My namaste and jai hind to everybody. Thank you very, very much. Rohan Gupta, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra said, who adopted Vande Mataram as the Rashtriya Gan? It was the Congress. On which platform did Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore first sing this song? On the platform of the Congress. So why blame the Congress was her question. You're on mute, Rohan.
It is about the mindset what Congress party had. It's about the way why the appeasement politics rule over the Vande Mataram song. As you rightly said, Vande Mataram song was the song of freedom fight. It became communal when we got the independence. Why? Why under anybody's pressure? It didn't become the national anthem. It was very clear cut that there were 6 stanzas into that, and there was oppose of last 4 stanzas. Even after that, Vande Mataram could not become national anthem because of the appeasement politics. This shows the mindset of Congress party. Why this discussion was important is to highlight till now how the decisions are taken under the pressure of appeasement politics. When two countries are divided, when we are independent country, and still if we have to take our decisions under the pressure because of appeasement, कि किसी और को बुरा ना लग जाए, don't you feel that is bad? That is bad, or that is insult to Vande Mataram? What is wrong with Vande Mataram? I still don't understand if there are people in country who still feel that राष्ट्रीय गीत हो या राष्ट्रीय गान हो, उसको गाने में अगर आपको तकलीफ होती है, if you feel that is also religious, it is shame on them. So it is the ideological question today that even now in India you have people who are against Vande Mataram. It is not a religious song. It was a song of freedom fight, and we all must respect, and we have to give that respect back to Vande Mataram.
Akashdeep Muni.
Anandji,
Yeah.
those today talking about Deshbhakti, remember RSS and the Sangh Parivar supported the British against Indians in the national movement, did not take part in the Quit India movement, did not raise the national flag for 52 years, abused the Constitution of India, burnt effigies of Bapu and Baba Sahib Ambedkar, and in the word of Sardar Patel, were involved in Gandhiji's assassination. Now, regarding Vande Mataram, in committee deliberation, Netaji Bose recommended adopting the first 2 stanzas as recorded in Congress records during the 1939 Haripura Congress, and he said, I'm quoting him, prove me wrong. Vande Mataram has been the war cry of our fighters. Let it continue to inspire us. Even Gurudev Tagore endorsed it. Proof is October 1937, the Congress formed a subcommittee including Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose, Acharya Narayan Dev and Rabindranath Tagore to review the song. They unanimously recommended adopting only the first 2 stanzas, talking about appeasement, what the PM was talking. M.S. Gowalkar, second Sar Sanchalak of RSS, 1942-1973, who urged, and I quoting him, Hindus, don't waste your energy fighting the British. Save your energy to fight our internal enemies that are Muslims and Christians. ये appeasement की बात करेंगे. These were appeasing Britishers, and today they are appeasing the businessmen. What about Indians? I am talking about there are proof that the 2 stanzas were adopted by Bose. Now will you say, is Bose also Tukde Tukde gang? Is Rabindranath Tagore also Tukde Tukde gang? कहीं तो शर्म कर लो, कहीं तो रुक जाओ, कहां पे रुकोगे?
Okay. Nachiketa Tiwari.
I would like to.
Okay, Rohan Gupta, quick counter, and then Nachiketa Tiwari.
देखिए, इन्होंने कहा कि शर्म करो. शर्म तो आपको आनी चाहिए. वंदे मातरम राष्ट्रीय गान क्यों नहीं बना, मुझे वो बताइए आप इतनी बड़ी बातें कर रहे हैं. बिकॉज जिन्ना वेंट टू नेहरू सेइंग दैट हमको आपत्ति है लास्ट के 4 स्टांजा से, then that was removed. Even after that, Vande Mataram could not become national anthem. Don't you feel you have to be ashamed about that? Why so much of appeasement politics when Vande Mataram is song of independent fight? Why you are giving it a religious color? Why even any today Muslims have they are opposing singing Vande Mataram even on debate? Why you are also giving it a religious color? It is not a religious song. My question is very simple. It is the appeasement mindset. It is a.
Rohan, are you saying that Bose and Tagore appeased to Muslims? Are you saying
tell me why it didn't become the national anthem? Why Vande Mataram didn't become the national anthem?
And Tagore appeased to Muslims.
No, because Muhammad Ali Jinnah, no. Because Muhammad Ali Jinnah went to Nehru. Why, first of all, why this proposal came?
Okay. One second. One minute.
Remember,
Okay, 1 minute, Akashdeep Muni. See, when you quote certain people selectively, then you are also misinforming. If Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel had an opinion about the RSS, he also had a different opinion about the RSS, and he was as the Home Minister who came out and said there is no proof that the RSS is connected with the assassination of Mahatma Gandhi, and that was after the inquiry, and then the ban was lifted. So it was also Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. So why did you say that? Why did you say that? You didn't say it. So you are also quoting, you are also guilty of quoting, falsely quoting. See, you can't quote a particular leader. You can't quote a leader selectively because it suits you. Now, 1 minute. You asked a question if Bose and Thakur, Gurudev, Rabindranath Tagore were appeasing Muslims. Now, what would you say about Mahatma Gandhi? यदि किसी मिश्र सभा में किसी को आपत्ति हो तो गीत ना गाया जाए. In 1939, Mahatma Gandhi said this. Why did he say that?
Because he wanted to keep the.
So he was not appeasing. So he was not appeasing. So are you trying to say Mahatma Gandhi was also appeasing? Mahatma Gandhi also succumbed to appeasement.
At that point
If Gurudev Thakur and Netaji Bose were appeasing, then Mahatma Gandhi was appeasing. If Mahatma Gandhi was not appeasing, then these two were also not appeasing. No, you take a position first. 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 Do you believe Mahatma Gandhi was appeasing? Do you believe Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali and backing them in the Khilafat movement, and when they turned around and they first opposed Vande Mataram, should Mahatma Gandhi have opposed them, or should he have said, all right, don't sing it? What should he have said? What's your point of view? You so ferociously advocated for Vande Mataram. No, so I'm asking you. If Gandhi said, if somebody opposes Vande Mataram, don't sing it, was he appeasing or not appeasing?
Listen to me.
No, answer my question. Answer my question. You had a point about Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore and Netaji Bose. I'm asking you, what about Mahatma Gandhi?
Asking a question.
I'm asking you, what about Mahatma Gandhi?
I'm telling you.
I'm asking you, what about Mahatma Gandhi?
Not letting me tell.
Tell me.
बोलने तो दीजिए. I am saying that when somebody is saying that anybody has the freedom to sing or not sing, that's the
No. When somebody starts succumbing to the fundamentalists rather than to the progressives, then who succumb to appeasement is a question. मैं उसका उदाहरण भी देता हूँ आपको. Do you know who Rizaul Karim is? 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 Do you know who Barrister Abdul Rahman is? Do you know who Rizaul Karim is and who's Barrister Abdul Karim? Do you know who Barrister Abdul Rasool is and who Rizaul Karim is? Do you know? Do you know? हाँ या ना में जवाब दो ना. अब मैं बताता हूँ. Rizaul Karim was from the Bengal Congress. And not quite. Now please listen. अब थोड़ा सा ज्ञान समझ लो. Okay, these are the people who were ignored. These were the people who were ignored. These were the people who were ignored. Now, Akashdeep Puni, wait. 1938 or 1944, there was a Bengali lake in Bangla. Bankim Chandrar Nikat मुसलमाने ऋण. बंकिम चंद्र के प्रति मुसलमानों का ऋण. He has written there that बंकिम चंद्र की अमर कृति आनंद मठ को हिंदू सन्यासियों के विद्रोह और मुस्लिम विरोध की जगह उसकी पृष्ठभूमि में बैठे अंग्रेजी शासन और औपनिवेशवाद के विरुद्ध में ही देखा जाना चाहिए. So he said, let's thank Bankim Chandra and his point. No, wait a minute. Now wait.
No, you asked. Now
wait. 1906, 1907. लाल इश्तेहार ने बंगाल में कट्टर मुस्लिम राजनीति को उकसाया और आनंद मठ की प्रतियों को सार्वजनिक दहन हुआ. ढाका इन 1906 मुस्लिम लीग सम्मेलन इस पुस्तक दहन में सांप्रदायिकता को नया मोड़ दिया. Then at that time in 1906 in the regional सम्मेलन in Bengal, Barrister Abdul Rasool, he was the adhyaksh. He sang Vande Mataram. He rejected the fundamentalists. प्रारंभिक विरोध मुस्लिम नेतृत्व से नहीं था. This is again, these were Muslims, including Abul Kalam Azad, Khan Abdul Ghaffar. They all wanted Vande Mataram to be sung and they respected it as a national song. But who succumbed to it as a political leader who said, why did they do it? Now, Nachiketa Tiwari. So yeah. Gandhi, Bose, Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, they all succumbed to the fundamentalists. True, false?
Okay, so when you look at it, 150 years down the road, now that we are celebrating 150th anniversary of Vande Mataram, we should look at 2 or 3 important facts. So, okay, they abridged this full Vande Mataram to a much more abridged version with only 2 stanzas. But has that enhanced the acceptance of Vande Mataram today among certain sections of our people today? This is a question we should seriously think about. It has not. It is still a contentious issue. Second, it's not just Vande Mataram. If you just Google, you will find dozens of news reports that there's now also an insistence on not singing Jana Gana Man. and the insistence on not singing Jan Gan Man is exactly the same, that I would not like to sing Jan Gan Man because it talks about Bharat Bhagya Vidhata, where there's an allusion to a god which is different than Allah and so on and so forth. So even that is not acceptable. So this whole notion that if you somehow, manage these demands and somehow you will be able to accommodate under your large tent just by managing it for the short-term measure, it has not yielded any dividends. The All India Muslim League not just rejected Vande Mataram. In Wardha report, which was, I think around 1936 or so, they rejected an entire set of recommendations of Congress, including Gandhi's ideals, like non-violence and ahimsa, because they were anchored in Hindu ethos. This was the argument they made. So do you think that they still rejected it? What did Congress achieve out of it? And then to further accommodate them, the Congress further, made concessions and more concessions and more concessions, and eventually it did lead to vivisection of our country. So there's no doubt about it that this concept of accommodation or appeasement, you can use either words, it has not paid any dividends to our country, neither in past, and it continues to be a big source of contention. This is extremely important to understand, and this will not go away. Vande Mataram is still a contested song, and now we are seeing emergence of even Jan Gan Man being a contested song. I mean, every year you hear all sorts of reports, people refusing to stand up in theaters and so on and so forth, just because of this reason, because the idea is that, I have to be different. There are certain thought processes, there are ideologies, there are political and socio and cultural organizations which want to say that we are different. We are fundamentally different, and we still are a different nation. And that thought process has not gone out.
No, there is also in terms of perspective, viewers, as I go across to Abhijit Iyer Mitra, there is a double game, a dangerous double game. In 1909, Sayyid Ali Imam, the then Muslim League president, termed Vande Mataram as a sectarian cry at an Amritsar session, and he began this organized opposition. But then Muhammad Ali Jinnah respected Vande Mataram during the Khilafat movement. When the Muhammad Ali brothers, Shaukat Ali and Jinnah, all of them, they wanted support of the Hindus for this Khilafat movement, that is setting up a Khalifa in Turkey. This is Khilafat is not resistance. Khilafat is the need movement to set up.
Against Khilafat movement.
Set up. During the he was not. Listen, the Muhammad. So, but Jinnah was for Vande Mataram in 1909. That's what I'm trying to say. Then in 1938, when the Khilafat movement, the whole thing dropped. Sir, it was all started by Muhammad Ali. कुछ भी तो आप बोल रहे हो सर, कुछ भी तो आप बोल रहे हो. जब इनको अपने मतलब से हिंदूज का सपोर्ट चाहिए था, तब इन्होंने बोला वंदे मातरम गाओ. खड़े दे होते तो फिर डांट भी लगाई जिन्ना ने. This is all on record. Then in 1938 he says, I will not sing Vande Mataram. We Muslims don't believe in Vande Mataram once the Khilafat movement ended. This Khilafat movement had nothing to do with India. It was about setting up a caliph in Turkey, and that whole thing fell apart. And then immediately they broke off and said, no, we will not sing Vande Mataram. It's all chronicles. It's all chronicled. The Muhammad Ali, Shaukat Ali, they were arguing with Savarkar also that they wanted Savarkar support for Khilafat. Savarkar said no. Jinnah, when Gandhi said he will support Khilafat, so Vande Mataram was sung by everybody. The moment the Khilafat whole thing crashed, then they all turned around and said we will not sing. So this is a dangerous game. Now, this is the Muslim League under Sayyid Ali Imam in 1909 had rejected Vande Mataram, but then they accepted it under Jinnah and Muhammad Ali, Shaukat Ali, and then they rejected it again in 1938. So this is the game, and this is during the Khilafat movement that the whole thing happened, when they wanted the larger support of the Hindus for this whole thing. Abhijit Iyer Mitra. So then, who played the dangerous game? Who rejected the progressives? And even today, why do some people deliberately misinterpret what Vande Mataram actually means? Are we worshipping the motherland, or are we bowing to the motherland? Is Vande Mataram, I worship you, my country, or is it Ma Tujhe Salam? Ma Taslimat, as the Muslim Rashtriya Manch says. Yes. Abhijit Iyer Mitra.
First of all, we need to understand what Anandmath is. Anandmath is the essence of what our friend above is telling us the RSS is guilty of. Anandmath is about a bunch of sannyasis rebelling against tyrannical Muslim rulers. Forget the nonsense you're reading on Wikipedia. I don't know why the Wikipedia article is so telling you it's against the East India Company. It is not against the East India Company. It is against local Muslim rulers. The whole of Anandmath is about a rebellion against Muslim rulers.
And because of the taxes and the excesses, yeah.
And then the Mata who appears in a divine form, she tells them the time for the British will come. You go, now you go lead your lives. People have forgotten how nasty Muslim rule, especially that of Sirajud-Dowlah, was. All right. So this is very much against the kind of Muslim tyranny that the Sultanate Murshidabad was doing against all his local subjects and things like that. Let us be very, very clear about it. The form of the sannyasi rebellion was fundamentally revering the motherland as a goddess.
Yeah.
Okay. It is that is why Tumi Durga Dashaprahara Dharini Kamala Kamala Dala Biharini Vani Vidya Daini Tumi Vidya Tumi Dharma Tumi Hridi Tumi Marma Tumi Bahote Tumi Ma Shakti Hridaye Tumi Ma Bhakti Tomari Protima Ami Gadi Mondire Mondire. It is your image that I worship and circumambulate in every single temple. Now, it is very, very clear that it was a Hindu ethos behind it, which is perfectly fine. Also, Anandmath and Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay were giving the exact same advice that the RSS is now accused of giving, which is you prepare for the internal enemy. Incidentally, that is exactly what Michael Collins told the Irish Republican Army. They got their independence before us because they were very smart. They weren't like the Indian National Congress under its dunce leadership that boycotted the national elections for 20 years. You know, they never contested the 1920 election. From 1920 to 1934, they refused to contest the elections. They ran away like scooters that they are. They just came in time when independence became inevitable in a power grab. That was it. Okay. All the basis for this thing where, do you know Motilal Nehru? Nehru's father left the Congress and joined a party called the Swatantra Party. And for in between, nobody has heard of the Nationalist Party of India, the Democratic Party of India, the Swatantra Party of India, which were ruling India effectively for those from the 1920 to 1934 elections. Ben Gurion had the same idea. Michael Collins in Ireland had the same idea. The RSS had the same idea, which was what? The British are now going. You focus on your internal enemies. What is wrong with that? Now, we have it on record that Nehru was extremely uncomfortable with Vande Mataram because he also believed that it was communal, which is also why most of the stanzas of Jana Gana Mana were also deleted. Yes. Why do you only think the first stanza of Jana Gana Mana? Because every stanza after that has religious connotation. Tava Shankha Dhwani Baje, Sankata Dukkha Trata, Tava Karuna Runa Rage, Nidrita Bharata Jage, Tava Charane Nata Mata. That is the last stanza. Jaya 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 He, Jaya Rajeshwara Bharato Bhaggo Bidata. Okay. It is full all, both Janagana Mana and Vande Mataram. Vande Mataram is much more explicitly religious, which is why it was untenable. Now, Nehru, very smartly, in his private letters says, yes, it is religious, it is communal, blah, blah, blah. Officially, he says, oh, you know, Janagana Mana is much more melodious. It has a much more unique tune. That is why it should become the national anthem. And then there are lots of things about how people complimented its playing on how it was unique as a national anthem. I'm not going to get into the constitutional debates and the letters of Nehru and things like that. But let us be very clear. Only the first stanza of Jana Gana Mana was adopted and Vande Mataram was dropped completely, entirely because of the religious nature. Now, what does it tell you? When one community wants to raise the religious, fine, it's a religious thing. I'm unabashed about it. Yeah, it celebrates India's Durga Mata. What is wrong about it? This is the same mentality you're looking at what is happening in Tripura Gundram, where us lighting our lamp is a problem for another community. Why?
No, it's a problem to the state also, right?
Me saying Vande Mataram, me making it the national anthem. Why is it a problem for somebody else? You understand? And let us go. So, you know, ask him to deny the fact that Anandmath is a rising against the Muslim rulers. Will he condemn Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay now? Because Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay is telling you exactly what the RSS is telling you. Ask him to condemn Bankim Da. Bolo.
Okay. Now, before Akashdeep Puni, there's some confusion. Viewers, I'm very clear that the Muhammad Ali, Shaukat Ali brothers are different. Muhammad Ali Jinnah is a different person. They were all connected somewhere and they were all active during this period. It was the Muhammad Ali, Shaukat Ali brothers, so Muhammad Ali among these Ali brothers who first in the 1930s started raising and breaking away once the Khilafat movement got over, started breaking away and started the opposition to Vande Mataram, and then Jinnah also wrote about it. Now Jinnah had different views in the 1900, between 1910 to 1925, and thereafter he moved between 1932 and thereafter between the way he was treated in Congress and when he became part of the Muslim League. There's a different transition himself of the cigar smoking, meat eating, pork eating, Shia Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who was eventually buried as a Sunni. So that's a different story, and and his vision when Pakistan happened and what was thought. It's all a different story for another day. But yes, there is no confusion there. There are two Muhammad Alis, a Muhammad Ali Jinnah and a Muhammad Ali who is part of the Muhammad Ali, Shaukat Ali brothers. So that's one story. But when we come back to the fact that this was in a way to try and talk about our Hindu ethos, Nachiketa Tiwari wants to say something. Yes, Nachiketa.
Yeah, I want to say one thing very clearly. We should not forget that this whole debate about Vande Mataram and the way it started much prior to independence was not just an anachronism or something by itself. It's actually a reflection of a very deeply seated separatist mindset amongst a big section in India at that time, and it continues till today. It's not that just because there is some religious imagery in Vande Mataram embedded so that it becomes an anathema to Muslims. I'll just give you an example. The national anthem of Pakistan, it uses this term that Pakistan is a sacred land. Pak literally means sacred. Now, tell me which Quran, if you literally interpret, I mean, there's no basis for Pakistan to be sacred, because sacred, all sanctity is embedded in Allah, the ultimate. There's nothing sacred about the nature, but they call it. So it's not about, religious imagery and all that. It's more that, you are using Indian and more specifically Hindu metaphors. You are anchored in the soil and imagery and the culture and ethos of this country. And as long as you continue to do that, I do not agree with you and I will try to make my own nation. I'll just give you another example of this. So in Pakistan's national anthem, I think last or second last line says that Pakistan is the shadow of Khuda. Now think about it, shadow of Khuda. I mean, this is direct shark, which means that if you are a shadow, then there is something which is of form. Khuda is having some form and then that's getting reflected. How is that not shark? But that's acceptable because it's a separate Islamic country. Another example, you look at the Tarana of Aligarh Muslim University, which was founded by Sayyid Ahmad Khan. Again, every single symbolism and a metaphor and simile in that Tarana, it's written extremely pure and chaste Persian. And then it says that every evening of AMU is like Sham-e Misr. It's like the evening of Egypt. It's not about evening of Delhi or Ayodhya or Kolkata, evening of Egypt. Then it says that Shab-e Shiraz, every night of AMU is the night of Iran, Shiraz.
Shiraz.
So the Atma or the Man is anchored somewhere outside, and the moment you start talking about India, Indian ethos, then it rebels that, we are not that. We are different, and you treat us like that, and we will continue to insist on this differentness till cows come home. And it doesn't matter, you can have 20 vivisections of this country, but that idea still remains because it flows from very powerful ideologies which,
So you're saying there is one which is inclusive, the other one which is othering.
Yes.
One which talks about a Hindu ethos, but it's still inclusive. The other one that talks about we are different and we will continue to remain different because we are not you. Rohan Gupta, where is the resolution to this debate? What is the net outcome of this whole debate in Parliament? What's going to happen?
See, it's about the mindset. We know that whatever is done in history, you cannot undo that. But you need to understand that as an Indian, now what we are changing and where we have to change. the decision should not be taken under anybody's pressure or appeasement politics. The decision should be based on the merits. And that's why I think Vande Mataram, the way it deserved the respect being the song of independence, I think that respect we could not give because of the appeasement politics. That is the whole idea about celebrating 150 years of Vande Mataram. It speaks about our freedom fight. It speaks about the sacrifice made by our ancestors, and we have to
The
respect
reality
that.
today, sir, is that A. Raja was far more derisive about Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay and also Vande Mataram than any other MP in Parliament today. But nobody from the BJP stood up to take umbrage, counter him, and to say what he said is wrong. Because he qualified only the Hindu way of life as idolatry, whereas all other faiths also follow idolatry positions. So for him to rant against the Hindu faith like that and to go about and decry and say that Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay actually was derisive and divisive, and he told the BJP, told the Prime Minister, your forefathers. He separated himself from the Prime Minister or the Indian DNA. And nobody took umbrage and none of it was qualified, sir. And it's the same DMK rule Tamil Nadu right now, which is wanting to impeach a judge because he passed a judgment which was not comfortable for the HRNC department controlled by the DMK. And the BJP has kept quiet. So how Vande Mataram are you, sir, when you say that you are champions of the Hindu faith and Hindu way of life and truly want to respect Vande Mataram? I'll leave you with that question. I have to wind up for the moment. Thank you very much. We've got more news.